One house, 10 people, a mother, her children, grandchildren, and 2 exes, all living under one roof in Dublin. When the matriarch suddenly vanished, her family said she walked out with a suitcase and never came back. But the truth? It was buried scattered dew across 9 remote mountainsides. This wasn't just murder. She bought the house herself, raised her family in it, and watched it fall into chaos. After a failed relationship, she had no choice but to move back in with her ex-husband, Gus. They barely spoke. It was betrayal, dismemberment, and a cover-up that involved nearly everyone she loved. This is the twisted story of Patricia O'Connor. Kieran and Patricia's son Richard allegedly filed a missing persons report, but Patricia's sister Valerie was suspicious. There were no transactions on Patricia's bank card, no activity on her phone, and no public sightings. She had simply vanished. A neighbor's security camera showed someone leaving the house with a suitcase on the morning of May 29th, just like the family claimed. Patricia wasn't impulsive. She wouldn't abandon her grandkids, not without a word. In the quiet neighborhood of Mountain View Park, south of Dublin, stood a modest house bursting at the seams. Inside lived Patricia O'Connor, a retired hospital worker, alongside her ex-husband. Her adult daughter Louise's children from different fathers, and 2 men, a current partner and a former one. 10 people under one roof, found later inside Gus's bedroom. He told police the truth. His mother never walked out. What they thought was an animal was, in fact, the dismembered body of a woman. Tension wasn't just daily. It was constant. They all told the same lie. She left. Louise's partner, Kieran Green, was aggressive, jobless, and openly hostile. He and Patricia hated each other. Even the children sensed that no one listened to her. And on May 29th, 2017, she disappeared. The home had become lawless. No respect, no routine, no unity. Patricia, already nearing retirement, was treated like a ghost in her own house. But no one expected that tension would end in murder, that Patricia's own family would help hide the truth. Patricia had spent decades working as a care assistant, dedicated, disciplined, and tired. Her daughter Louise, unemployed and overwhelmed with children, clashed with Patricia constantly. She kept trying, waking early, cleaning, cooking, caring for the house, but her rules were ignored, her voice silenced. In panic, he pushed her, she fell, hit her head, and died. No loud argument, no emergency call, just silence. Her ex-husband Gus casually told her sister she left with a suitcase. Louise, who initially defended Kieran, began changing her story. Gus admitted he knew Patricia hadn't really left. Keith said he just helped buy supplies. Police looked into it. Then came the twist. But when detectives zoomed in, they saw something disturbing. It wasn't Patricia. It was Stephanie, her teenage granddaughter, wearing her clothes and imitating her walk. She returned 30 minutes later, entering through the back. This wasn't confusion. This was staging, and it was coordinated. After that day, someone used Patricia's phone to send fake messages, pretending she had left willingly. The suitcase used in the act? No one in the family, not Louise, not Gus, not Kieran, questioned anything. But one person refused to play along. Patricia's son Richard. On June 10th, in the Wicklow Mountains, the family stumbled across human remains while out for a picnic. No obituary, no memorial, just silence. Over 15 miles across 9 different locations, police recovered body parts wrapped in plastic. It had been less than 24 hours since the remains were scattered. Still, no one linked the victim to Patricia. Not yet. Then Kieran Green walked into a police station. She gave them her home, her energy, her time. He looked nervous, sweaty, agitated, and he confessed. He said Patricia had burst into the bathroom while he was showering, yelling and swinging a stick. He claimed it was self-defense. Then he said he buried her, returned days later, dug up the body, dismembered it, and scattered the parts in the mountains. All ... in panic. Police didn't buy it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who follows true crime. Your support helps us bring stories like this to light. Stories that should never be forgotten. Forensics showed multiple skull fractures, not a single fall. Dismemberment was done with power tools, some of which were purchased after Patricia died. Surveillance showed Kieran and Louise's ex, Keith Johnston, buying saws, bags, and bleach. This wasn't panic, this was planned. Stephanie's video, once seen as a prank, became evidence of obstruction. Only Richard told the truth from the beginning. The rest they lied. Covered, enabled. The trial began in January 2020. 5 people were charged. Kieran Green found guilty of murder. Life in prison. Stephanie O'Connor, 18 months for misleading police. Louise O'Connor, 2 years, 10 months for obstruction. Keith Johnston, to 2 years, 10 months for assisting. Gus O'Connor, 18 months for lying to investigators. Only Kieran remains behind bars. The others served partial sentences and were quietly released. Patricia's funeral was held in secret. Her sisters weren't told. Friends weren't invited. Augustine, her ex-husband, inherited her home and bank accounts and sold everything. Louise received nothing. Even in death, Patricia was erased by the very people she once supported. Patricia O'Connor lived a life of service to her patients, to her family. In return, she was betrayed, silenced, dismembered, and erased. Why? No one ever gave a real reason. Not in court, not in interviews, not even to themselves. And maybe that's the most chilling part. If this case disturbed you as much as it did us,